Smackdown Live, delivered to you by the milkman himself, sponsored by Get the Fuck Off My TV. 2 weeks past the expiration date, sour, stale, and disgusting. Just like this episode of Smackdown Live. Let's talk about it. 24 hours removed from Kevin Owens winning the WWE Universal Championship in a great main event on Monday Night Raw, we see SmackDown Live present to us in full 1080p on the fucking USA Network, the Milkman. The Milkman, live and in color. He's got black slacks on. He's got a purple fucking dress shirt on with a nice little funny tie on. I don't know what kind of accent he was talking in. I don't know if he was from fucking Dallas, Texas. I don't know where the fuck this guy came from, period. But everybody was fucking thoroughly confused as to why this goon was in the ring. Why this was on the show. Why this was presented to us on SmackDown Live a week and a half before fucking pay-per-view. I don't know. Then, lo and behold, he strips down into his fucking underwear. And no, he's not wearing fucking boxers. He's not wearing something that looks like fucking nightwear. He's wearing tighty whities. Who the fuck wears fucking tighty whities? My dad doesn't even wear fucking tighty whities. Are you fucking kidding me? Why was this presented on our televisions? So I have a goon standing in my ring on SmackDown, on my television, wearing fucking white underwear. Who is he gonna fight? Out comes, get off my TV himself, the big red irrelevant monster, Kane. And you people ask me, JD, make this guy on a Get Off My TV t-shirt, or put this guy on a Get Off My TV t-shirt. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you want on my t-shirts. There's a reason why Kane will forever be the poster child of Get Off My TV. If this was a way to get Kane on television, why? What purpose did this serve? What purpose did this serve? You mean to tell me this segment was more important to everybody watching at home and in attendance in Dallas, Texas tonight? This was so important for Backlash that it needed to be on television. This was so important that you took time away from an Apollo Crews AJ Styles match that I was thoroughly enjoying and I thought was cut short. Little did we know that fucking Mr. Milkman himself was going to strip down in the middle of the ring, only to be chokeslammed by fucking Kane before the main event. That's SmackDown in a nutshell for you. SmackDown. Absolutely nothing happened tonight. Nothing. And you figured after a monumental Monday Night Raw main event, where we seen one of our own, one of the hardest working men in the business, Kevin Owens, win the WWE Universal Championship, that WWE would follow up with a hot storyline, something that is even hotter than anything that is happening on Monday Night Raw. And I'm talking about the Miz and Daniel Bryan. Did they follow up? Now, I don't know what's going on right now with Talking Smack. I'm recording this review and doing this for you guys. I don't know what they're planning on doing on Talking Smack. I don't know. Little to me, or little known to me, they could probably be doing something that's fucking of major importance on Talking Smack. I don't know. But they certainly didn't do anything to build off that one promo by The Miz this week on SmackDown. They didn't do anything to build off that at all. And that's a damn shame. That one instance had literally everybody talking in the WWE Universe, praising The Miz for the best promo of his fucking life. Praising the WWE that they finally incorporated something that blurs the line between fucking reality and what's not reality. You know? They didn't do anything to build off that. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Do you know what another huge mistake by WWE is? Having these pay-per-views so close together. I fucking hate it. WWE seems to be on cruise control for SmackDown. And last week was a great fucking show. I'm not taking anything away from last week's show. But coming off a hot angle on Talking Smack with Bryan and The Miz, and you still got Dolph Ziggler, you know, somehow becoming relevant slowly but surely. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. You got AJ Styles fucking winning matches left and right, showing you why he's the best wrestler on the fucking planet. Tag team tournament. You figured going into the SmackDown, things would be just like they were last week. It was like the fucking complete opposite. Nothing happened on this show. It was, I'm not even sitting here telling you it was a bad show. It was boring. It was fucking boring. Nothing of importance happened tonight. It was a lot of nothing. Completely irrelevant. They did literally nothing to build towards Backlash that made you care. I sit here at the end of the night just fucking shrugging my shoulders. I just don't care. That's a problem. And the reason why we don't care is because Summerslam just ended and we're automatically just fucking thrusted right into Backlash. Feuds and tension and storylines. They don't have room to breathe. Night of Champions, or Clash of Champions, I should say. I gotta get used to saying Clash of Champions. Clash of Champions. Not Clash of the Champions. Clash of Champions is happening in a decent amount of time coming out of SummerSlam. You got 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks. Backlash is happening not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Meaning you have one more SmackDown left. You have one more SmackDown left to make me care about Backlash. Don't you find that a little bit concerning? How can anyone fucking care? And how can WWE write and make these storylines breathe in 3 fucking weeks coming out of SummerSlam? WWE rushed to get matches for both brands, Raw and SmackDown, booked for SummerSlam. And then immediately coming out of SummerSlam, you gotta put the WWE SmackDown writing staff right to the fucking fire and have them booked for Backlash. None of these storylines have room to breathe and develop. I don't like that. That's a major fucking problem to me. And this is not going to be, you JD, this is just this month. No, it's going to be in every time there's a major co-branded pay-per-view. It's going to happen every fucking time. Every time there's a major co-branded pay-per-view, you're going to see a brand exclusive pay-per-view to follow it 2 or 3 weeks after that. These aren't fucking main events or superstars or Sunday Night Heat or whatever else they got fucking going on. This is a legit pay-per-view. You cannot have pay-per-views following major pay-per-views, and I'm talking about one of the big 5. They need to breathe. I don't care about Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. I just don't. And that's a fucking shame. WWE Champion. I don't care. AJ Styles, best wrestler on the fucking roster. I don't care. The Miz, we care about. They didn't do anything to follow that up. They didn't do anything to follow that up. Daniel Bryan calls him safe, a coward, everything but the word pussy. What does The Miz do? Dolph Ziggler calls him out. Let's fight. Let's fight for the title. He backs away. Nothing. And then you don't hear from him or see him for the rest of the show. Why? Tag team championships. Tournament going on. Hype Bros look great. Vaudevillains look like fucking jobbers. Headbangers come back. They look fat and out of shape. Nobody even fucking cared. Rhino and Heath Slater, I wouldn't be surprised if they win the whole goddamn fucking tournament. Who cares? I just don't. I don't care. The women, I don't care. There's no tension between anybody except Carmella and Nikki Bella. I don't care. I don't. Why should I? I would love someone to explain to me why I should care. There's no fucking tension there. As a viewer at home, we all watched Monday Night Raw, right? We were all invested in who Kevin Owens was and what Kevin Owens was fighting for. When he won the title, what happened? We goddamn near threw a fucking parade for the guy. Without actually having to do it. Everybody on social media was fucking throwing their hands up and rejoice. We cared. I don't get that feeling when I watch this episode of SmackDown. And that's a goddamn fucking shame. WWE is not letting their shows breathe. They're not letting their pay-per-views build. And this is going to be a recurring issue. When you have a Summerslam and you immediately go into Backlash, it's not right. One brand is going to suffer, and then the other brand is going to look decent because there's enough time coming out of that major SummerSlam pay-per-view for storylines to develop and build on Monday Night Raw. You can't build anything in 3 weeks. You can't build anything with titles on the line in 3 weeks. It's not going to happen. And I hope WWE books correctly, and I hope WWE books smart for the future. Hopefully they have storylines that go into a major pay-per-view like a SummerSlam or Survivor Series, which is coming up next. And if they have another exclusive brand pay-per-view, that most of those matches that happen at SummerSlam are beginnings of feuds. But even then, if those matches happen at Survivor Series, nothing is going to matter because it's just going to feel rushed. It's going to feel rushed. Either way you look at it, everything is going to be rushed. This is the motto and the stigma and the fucking formula we want the WWE to get away from. One pay-per-view a month is all you need. We got fucking 2 pay-per-views per month in September. Starting in September. You got Clash of Champions and you got Backlash. Might as well be 3 with SummerSlam. It's 3 fucking pay-per-views in a span of a month. Overkill. And it's going to devalue the fucking product, and it's going to make a lot more people not care about the overall presentation and the product of what they're trying to do on television. That's just the way I see it. That's my major gripe coming out of this show. Cannot happen that way. I just don't care. After the SmackDown, I just don't care. And I don't want to feel that way. At all. Daniel Bryan and The Miz. This was the big thing going into this show. They start the show off pretty much showing you exactly what happened on Talking Smack. So if you missed it, you've seen it this week. Miz cut the promo of his fucking life on Talking Smack last week. Bryan ended up walking off that interview, and The Miz went on a tirade about how the Intercontinental title is the most important one on SmackDown because he's the one out there every single night. Shane McMahon then tells Bryan that he can't do that to the talent, and Bryan agrees. However, Bryan does find it ironic coming from the person having issues with Brock Lesnar. Miz and Dolph Ziggler. No, they're not dressed as fucking Colonel Sanders and the Chicken. They're dressed as Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. All this was pretty much was Miz didn't want to hear any booing because it's taken 148 days, the length of his WWE Intercontinental Championship reign, to get the fans' attention. He's bringing prestige back to the title. Oh, now you decide to bring prestige back to the title, right? Prestige should automatically come with the title, and it should never diminish when holding the title. But now WWE is trying to bring prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship, or at least The Miz is trying to. He didn't do that tonight, I'll tell you that. But he wrestles a different style because he's smart enough to see the big picture. What the fans don't understand is what's going on backstage. Who do you think they call when they need someone to do a red carpet premiere, or a commercial, or a main event WrestleMania, and then dress up as a chicken? Miz didn't spend the first 12 years of his career wrestling in front of 50 people, and people booing him for that to make them cowards. Dolph Ziggler comes out, says that Miz pretty much wants the spotlight. He wants to be a champion because he thinks he's a fucking glorified movie star, right? And Ziggler is proclaiming he wants to fight The Miz. He wants The Miz to come out of his shell. He wants The Miz to prove to everybody what he said on Talking Smack was true. Fight me. Prove to everybody that you're not a coward. And The Miz teases getting in the ring, and he teases taking off his watch and his tie, and he unbuckles his fucking shirt, you know? And then he ends up walking away. Dolph Ziggler continues to call him everything but the word pussy, and Maurice is holding him back. Nothing. After that, we've seen nothing. They all disappeared. Where this goes from here, I don't know. I said it on Twitter. This will probably end up in Daniel Bryan booking The Miz in a match that he does not want to go and fight, and he's going to end up losing the title. WWE's got something great on their hands, and they did not follow it up at all. And I don't think they will follow it up at all, period. We got excited for 1 week because the storyline blurred what was real and what was not real, what was work and what was shoot. They failed at a follow-up. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit what you do in this industry or if you work for the WWE. What they did tonight to follow up that incredible segment that got literally everybody talking, they didn't do anything. It was underwhelming. And they disappointed a lot of fucking people tonight. I will tell you that. That was it. That was all we seen of Ziggler, and that was all we seen of The Miz. No more. Tag team title match, or tag team tournament. First round match for the tag team titles. Hype Bros versus the Vaudevillains. Hype Bros looked fucking fantastic. I like these guys. It's a perfect role for both Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder. They beat the Vaudevillains. I should rephrase that. They squash the Vaudevillains. Hype Ryder to Aiden English at 2 minutes and 53 seconds. You know, now the Hype Bros go against the winner of the Headbangers versus Slater and Rhino. Might as well go over that right now. Headbangers came back with little to no fanfare. Nobody probably even remembered who they were. Even if they did remember who they were, they did not fucking care. The Headbangers were nothing but a second-rate tag team during the Attitude Era. They were a former WWE Tag Team Champion. They didn't do anything, man. In my eyes, they were a fucking joke. I mean, this was the best that you could find on a last-minute basis to fill a fucking 8th spot in this tournament. You couldn't put together fucking anybody else on your active roster to be a fucking tag team to go against these guys. I understand that you wanted to make Heath Slater and Rhino look a little bit decent by having them beat a former tag team champion, but it did nothing. It generated no excitement. We all knew why they were there. They weren't going to be sticking around. This was a one and done fucking, that's it. Come in, lose, you're out. Nobody cared. It goes to show you exactly how I feel about this show. Nobody fucking cared. The Headbangers were there. Were you excited? No. Was anybody in the crowd excited? No. Did they look decent? No. They looked out of shape. 47 years old. You're coming back. Right? At least get into some fucking shape. Overweight. Who gives a shit? I gotta see these two fucking goons moshing in the ring. It's not 1997 anymore. They look completely out of place. It was kind of embarrassing. That's just my opinion. Oh, JD, you're being negative, man. It was supposed to be nostalgia, man. Fuck nostalgia. There's times for nostalgia and there's times for not nostalgia. Tonight was not one of those nights. Seriously. Nobody fucking cared. Heath Slater and Rhino advance. Now it's Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Hype Bros. Who do you think's going to win? You think Heath Slater and Rhino are going to lose? Being that they're in the midst of this storyline, oh, if Heath Slater loses, he's gone. He doesn't get a contract. They're going to push this thing to the fucking limit. They're going to make you believe that he's going to get the contract. And then you got American Alpha versus the Usos. I figured this would have been the finals of the fucking tournament. American Alpha versus the Usos. American Alpha's going to win. Maybe WWE will do something right here and turn the Usos heel. We can only hope. But I see it being American Alpha versus Rhino and Heath Slater at fucking Backlash for the Tag Team Championships. And, I mean, I don't know if you guys are on the same page I am. I don't know if you agree with me. I don't know. When I see a tournament conclude and I see two teams in the finals fighting over vacated titles to crown a new fucking set of champions, I want it to be two legit teams. You know, American Alpha is a legit fucking team. They're fucking fantastic. But we got Rhino and Heath Slater. They're not a legit team. So you got one serious team and one joke team. I don't know. I don't like that, man. I don't know if I'm being a little bit fucking picky here. But I want one team who's serious against another team who's serious, fighting over something that is serious, the tag team titles. I don't want no cheesy fucking gimmick storyline intertwined with crowning tag team champions. I want two teams fighting over belts. That's it. Who've gone through a tournament to wrestle 3 times to get here. I have a feeling Heath Slater and Rhino are going to actually pull off the upset. I don't know. But If they do, like I said, I would not be surprised. Where do they go from the storyline after that if they lose? What are they going to do now? What joke and cheesy gimmick bullshit are they going to do after Heath Slater and Rhino lose? You know? They got to find some kind of common ground here. They got to find an end. When will this end? Give the fucking guy a contract already. Seriously. Anyway, moving on. AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews. This went 8 minutes and 15 seconds. I would have loved to seen more from these two, but we got the fucking Milkman and Kane taking up 5 minutes of our time. They could have added 5 minutes to this match, because what these guys did was fucking great. I said this on Twitter. I could certainly see Apollo Crews and AJ Styles wrestling in the future when something more important is on the line. They just gelled very, very well together. And I definitely want to see more. I didn't like the fact that Apollo Crews went into this only to lose to AJ Styles. He didn't look bad. But AJ Styles, obviously you knew was going to win this, being that he's got a WWE Championship match. Apollo Crews hasn't been in anything of importance, ever, since he's been called up to the main roster. He's been floating around in the middle of nowhere. You got fucking Daniel Bryan mispronouncing his last fucking name, Creed, and not Crews. Apollo Crews hasn't been in anything important. He himself needs a victory. Why not book him in a match where he can get his feet wet and, win? They put him against AJ Styles. Yeah, he looked okay, but he lost. He lost. And before that, AJ Styles went up to everybody in the back saying, yeah, I'm the face that runs this place. Then he comes across Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews gets in AJ Styles' face saying, I'm Apollo Crews. And he spells out his last name as if he's fucking standing on stage for the second grade spelling bee. C-R-E-W-S. Yeah, okay. I know how to spell your fucking name. Seriously, you want a fucking box of orange juice and a fucking cookie for your troubles? Seriously, this is what they fucking result or fucking demote Apollo Crews to. The guy is so fucking irrelevant, they got him spelling his last name on fucking television because people don't recognize who he is anymore. This is the shit that fucking pisses me off. And no, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not meant to be entertaining. I look at this as, you know what? This guy's got great fucking talent. Right? He was in an Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam. What happened? Nothing. They got him fucking spelling his name to the greatest wrestler on the planet right now. And then AJ Styles reciprocates. Yeah, I'm AJ Styles. And he spells out his last name. What? Give me a fucking break, man. Phenomenal forearm, 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Great match. I want to see more. But Apollo Crews needs to win as well. AJ Styles, you knew he was going to win, like I said, because he's going on to Backlash to fight Ambrose. What else we got here? We got Heath Slater in his trailer house, his trailer park trash. I don't know if he was going to fucking, I don't know what the fuck this was about, seriously. But his wife was some hideous redneck, and this was all redneck humor. It did nothing to make me laugh whatsoever. This entire segment was me looking at this fucking monstrosity of a beast who was fucking as fat as 6 cows, who had 6 chins, who had fucking blue eyeliner fucking dripping down her face. I swear to God, it was fucking disgusting, and it made me lose my appetite as I was eating my dinner during this segment. Disgusting. Heath Slater was not funny. Renee Young probably played the best role that she could, being in the situation that she was in, because she had to fucking sit there, and God knows how smelly this woman was. She was that fucking fat. Rhino was dressed in a polo shirt, eating fucking cheese and Cheese Whiz and crackers and uncooked fucking Spam. This is what happens in fucking the southern states? This is what you people do down there. You must have been fucking pissed off that this is how WWE presents your people and your lifestyle. This wasn't funny to me. This was a fucking joke. An absolute fucking joke. It did absolutely nothing to make me laugh. Another fucking segment taken away from minutes that Apollo Crews and AJ Styles could have gave us. I don't know. I'm here to watch wrestling. I'm here to watch fucking competitive matches. You got a fucking tag team title tournament. I don't know. Add some minutes to the fucking Hype Bros Vaudevillains match and not make it 2 minutes. Right? These matches are just flying by. All garbage segments and no fucking substance on this show. Why was this on my television? It wasn't funny. It was not funny. Bray Wyatt comes out. Randy Orton, you guys know the deal with that. Bray Wyatt has a message for the serpent. Bray isn't scared of snakes or monsters because he is more than that. He's more than a man. He is fear. Orton really hears voices in his head, and Bray hopes that he's telling him to run. And Randy comes out in person. Randy says that he may have a bunch of staples in his head that aren't going to change anything because being damaged is what he does. Bray calls himself the new Predator and promises to cut the Serpent's head off at Backlash. So there you go. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton at Backlash. You know, again, I find myself struggling to care. And I actually enjoy Bray Wyatt's fucking promos and his character, and I want to legit care about what this guy does. I can't care when Randy Orton was just fucking brutalized by Brock Lesnar 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and now you're automatically in a feud with Bray Wyatt. There's no substance there. Why are they fighting? I don't know. There's no internal fucking tension here. There's nothing between these two that warrants a pay-per-view match. Just WWE picking names out of a hat. Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, there you go. We'll make that a pay-per-view match. That's all it is. There's nothing here. Orton talks about Bray seeing scars on his body, but needing to worry about the scars inside. He agrees to the match and goes inside, but Bray vanishes before Randy Orton hits the ring. Okay. Again, why do I care? Natalya and Alexa Bliss versus Becky, Lynch, and Naomi. This match went 7 minutes and 21 seconds. The only thing here is that Carmella again comes out to attack Nikki Bella, who is sitting at ringside with JBL, David Otunga, and Mauro Ranallo. And that's the only tension here that is in this match. Yeah, Carmella and Nikki Bella. Only tension between any women in this match. The other four, they're just there. Carmella and Nikki Bella are legit building towards something. What it is yet, I don't know. Why Carmella is attacking Nikki Bella, we still don't know. Hopefully we get some type of fucking answer as to why she's acting the way she is. And then in the main event, we had Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose. Corbin looked very, very good. He looked like he could hang in the main event, and hopefully we continue to see more and more and more of that as he grows and matures. Definitely like to see more of Baron Corbin. He's definitely one of my favorites, and this entire draft and brand split is built for guys like him. This match ended when AJ Styles interfered, and he pretty much threw his 2 cents into the match, ruining the outcome of the match. At the end, Dean Ambrose was about to be nailed with a phenomenal forearm until he turned around and he blocked it, causing AJ Styles to be propelled on the top rope in a very, very precarious position. And whatever happened at the end, man, really made me shake my head. This is your WWE champion, and he's joking around and fucking playing around with AJ Styles, shaking his hand, and he's teetering on the fucking rope, cowboy style. He's smacking him across the face and putting his arm around his shoulder. And what the fuck's going on here? I mean, you're defending your world championship against probably the best wrestler on the fucking planet, and you're joking around. I mean, some sort of seriousness is needed here. I don't know what the fuck WWE did with this show coming out of Monday Night Raw. It looked like they were on autopilot for 2 fucking hours. Not saying it was a bad show. We watched, and we seen what they did, but in the end of it all, nobody fucking cares. Nobody. You cannot sit there and tell me you legit care about what is happening at Backlash. Backlash, as of right now, is coming off like a fucking 4th-rate fucking superstars show that's going to last 3 hours. Yeah, we're going to see wrestling. Yeah, AJ Styles and Ambrose are going to get about 30 minutes. The tag team match is probably going to get about 20 minutes. The women's match is probably going to get 20 minutes. Baron Corbin, I don't know, he may be fighting Kane after whatever fucking happened tonight. God forbid that's where they're leading to. You know, we may see Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. They got 1 week to let us know what the fuck's going on with the Intercontinental title. Nothing is allowed to breathe. It's rush, 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 rush. And in turn, it makes you fucking legit care about anything that's going on. I just don't care. That's the whole premise of this review. It is very difficult to care about what SmackDown is doing right now. And I don't want to be saying that, man. You know, it's like WWE is putting on more than decent, better than decent television. But a lot of it is just, I don't care. I just don't. And all I want to do is care, man. Storylines need to breathe and develop. You can't do that in 3 weeks and turn around and create a pay-per-view in which people are going to want to care about. They'll watch and they'll just be like, just another fucking show. I could have fell asleep and not missed a goddamn thing. I don't want to feel like that. I want to watch, be excited, and feel like we felt on Monday night when Kevin Owens won the Universal Championship. I just don't care. That's the whole premise of this review. I just don't care, and I know, neither do you. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much. SmackDown review is in the books. Tomorrow, definitely, Cruiserweight Final 8, the Cruiserweight Tournament, Cruiserweight Classic, Final 8 is coming up, man. We're going to see who is going to advance to the Final 4. Can't wait to see what's going on with that. Plus, NXT returns with their weekly television. Nakamura, first television appearance since winning the NXT Championship from Samoa Joe at TakeOver Brooklyn. All that plus so much more tomorrow, which you can find exclusively on my YouTube channel right here, JD from NY206. You guys on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, Google Play Music, you got Off The Script, Monday Night Raw review, and this SmackDown review to listen to. Thank you guys so much. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up. Thank you for everything that you guys do. Today, we ran into a little scare. I'll talk about that later on during the week. WWE flagged my video, my Monday Night Raw review video, for about a half an hour until everything was cleared up and rectified. Like I said, we will talk about that later this week on Off The Script. Until then, guys, thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you back here for the Cruiserweight Classic review. The Elite 8 is getting ready to fucking wow us in the tournament, and then your NXT review, and then obviously live with Out of Nowhere with Joe Cronin on Wednesdays, youtube.com. I'm JD. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Tomorrow, CWC, right here. See you then.